They are the new players in Minnesota's increasingly more crowded craft beer scene. But they have a different way of doing things that has already set them apart. A story that starts thousands of miles from their Northeast Minneapolis brewery on a bike.
We're probably going about 40 miles an hour or so right now.
So I'm about to take my first sip of the beer.
Beer for me acted as a catalyst into wanting to become a lifelong learner, wanting to learn as much as I can about various things, but beer was the driving force.
Ilan Klages-Mundt grew up in Winona. A standout musician, he went to college to become a music teacher. A trip overseas and just one drink would change his plans.
What did was in 2007 I went to Denmark and I had this list of the top 50 beers in the world. I was just starting to learn about what this thing called craft beer was.
Ilan tried a beer brewed by Belgian monks, the highest rated in the world.
When I tasted it, it was like this totally different experience that changed me, literally. And I had to learn everything about the world of beer.
How old were you at that time?
21, seriously.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Ilan's professors convinced him to apply for a fellowship to explore his new passion across the globe.
I applied for this fellowship, lost, but went anyways because I knew that I wanted to continue the progression of learning about these beer cultures, the history of beer, how people do it at multiple regions around the world.
He scraped together enough money for the plane fare and grabbed a bike to get around.
So I started in England. I was at a hop farm south of London in West Kent, and I was picking hops down there. It was very manual labor, but it was something that was exciting for me, and I actually had a smile on my face the whole time as I was picking these 16 hours a day.
There were stints at breweries in England, Japan, and Denmark before bringing that knowledge back home to spend a few more years honing his craft and bringing the largest startup brewery in the state to life.
So we're brewing anywhere from 3 to 4 times per week, and what that equates to is about anywhere from 60 to 80,000 pints.
Insight Brewing opened in November of 2014 after Ilan found 3 perfect business partners.
It really, really is a globally inspired brewery, and I think that's what sets it apart. We like to say that every beer has a story, because it does. You know, you've spoken to Ilan about his travels. Every one of these beers is inspired by some kind of story.
I came to this outfit with a sales background, so I've been most recently selling real estate for a national home builder and had done mortgages, done IT consulting, sales, software, and computer hardware. And selling beer is probably the easiest sale that I'll have to make in the not so distant future.
It really wasn't as big of a risk as it might seem looking in. I mean, it was just something I had to do.
Fun to go to work every day?
It is, it's absolutely, yeah.
You found kind of the perfect
We found the
mix of
perfect
people.
team, yep.
Yeah.
So again, I'm one of 4 owners, and the other guys are all home brewers with huge passion for beer. For all of us, this was a passion play. We wanted to start a brewery. We wanted to be, really happy and passionate about what we're doing in life, and this was our solution.
They all admit starting something like this is no easy job. The work weeks are long, and just getting this far has been a feat in itself.
There were kind of 2 main things that cost a decent amount when you're going to start up a facility like this. Obviously, stainless steel. That's going to cost the most. But otherwise, the things that people don't think about quite as much are going to be the renovations.
It's very, very surreal still to this day coming in, because all of us spent so much blood, sweat, and tears renovating this place, and we know what this place looked like before it looked like this. And it's sometimes a little hard to imagine that we actually did this.
As for the beer, you're able to taste Ilan's travels for yourself.
So the next one, this one is where we're going to push the limits a little bit more on what a pale ale can be. So this one has yuzu fruit in it from Japan.
That is different.
Yep, a little bit like a mandarin orange and a grapefruit. A little bit citrusy, still kind of light and crisp, but it kind of...
This is my favorite so far, so I'll just...
Good deal. Hopefully it keeps going that way.
So far, nearly 200 bars and restaurants serve Insight on tap. A canning line is also in the works. Insight produces 6,000 barrels of beer a year right now, but the 20,000 square foot building can support 40,000 barrels in the future. You can get a look at all of it 7 days a week while you pull up a chair and pick from one of the 6 beers on the menu.
So now this one, you said you're a wine drinker. This is a Belgian Saison that is blended with Sauvignon Blanc wine grapes. And what that does is it adds this complexity to the beer that doesn't make it a wine by any means. It's still a beer, but you get this unique character of almost champagne-like quality out of it.
And this is the one that's been really popular.
Yes.
Bestseller?
It is neck and neck with our IPA, but as of last week, it was the bestseller.
Okay, this is actually my favorite. Yeah.
So it's about going out into the world and exploring, which is something I think everybody aspires to do, and bringing it back. And we want to bring our customers along for the ride on that. This is, craft beer is a culture of inclusion, and we want to include everybody on what we're doing with our brand and bringing the insights of the world back to Minnesota.
A world of flavor forever connected to its past. A reminder isn't far away.
The bike is kind of a sense of inspiration even for me still. I get to look at that every day and remember. So the bike is really just an icon at this point that keeps the inspiration flowing.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.